Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius June 30, 2022. Today's new moon brings a possible new direction or focus. While you may experience some stirrings of discontent before turning things around positively, it's time to turn over a new leaf. You might resolve a long-standing problem with sharing, money, or love in the week ahead. Opportunities to pool your resources with someone can emerge. This new moon can trigger a strong desire to leave something behind and start fresh. Taking charge of the areas of life where you feel uncomfortably dependent on others comes naturally at this time. It might involve getting rid of some debt or clutter, or it might go deeper than that. You might find or renew a passion. Today, avoid jumping into or out of something too quickly. If you're feeling inspired to take a connection to the next level, it's all thanks to today's new moon in Cancer, given that it will touch down on your intimate 8th house of sex, mergers, shared resources, and soulmate connections. New beginnings are inevitable, but they will likely be transformative and quite unexpected. After all, the Sun will also square off with your planetary ruler, Jupiter, creating friction between your heart's desires and your prior commitments. Something's definitely gotta give, so it's important to be honest with yourself at this time concerning your emotional needs and the foundation of your commitments. Honor the power of your intuition during the new moon in Cancer. Throughout the next 6 months, the lunar cycle will encourage you to go with your gut feelings in your professional and financial transformation. You will find that your intuition could help you with pertinent financial decisions. As this lunar cycle begins to unfold, Neptune also stations retrograde in Pisces. Neptune retrograde is going to slowly but surely unveil the potential dilemmas of your work-life balance, allowing you to make necessary changes to your schedule and even uncover any underlying issues with any domestic duties. You have a keen analytical mind, which has served you well in the business world. Alas, dear, this characteristic does not always serve you so well in your personal life. It is likely that someone close to you has been bristling from your lack of empathy. Take some time today to reflect upon the events of the past few weeks. Could you have inadvertently sent a wrong message? Use today to correct any unintentional slights. A simple "I'm sorry" will do wonders. To put it mildly, you are somewhat overwhelmed with what is expected of you. There are frequent misunderstandings, especially with relatives and friends. To avoid making the tense situation worse, refrain from acting in the heat of the moment. You need a great deal of time and patience for talking things over to clear matters up. You're too happy to sit still today, so work or school might be a problem. Your great mood is pretty infectious, though, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about getting in trouble. You come under intense scrutiny and react badly to criticism you might receive from people you care about most. Emotional outbursts lead you to say things you later regret. It is probably best if you try and remove yourself from any tense situation to a quiet place where you're able to reflect on how you feel. Some upsetting dreams might haunt you throughout the day. They might bring up some uncomfortable emotional issues. Thus, you might be a bit on edge emotionally and more likely to overreact when other people quarrel, or when machines break down. It might be a good idea to analyze your dreams first thing in the morning so that you can learn from them and let them go. That way you'll make it through your day in a more balanced mood. Be careful that you do not take on too much at once today. Although your energetic nature is charged with creative juices, you should be wary of taking on what may be a small task and blowing it out of proportion today. Speak with the significant people in your life on this creative day and plot out a course of action for your plans. Without this key communication, your innovative ideas may just grow out of control. The moon is not only still in your financial sector after yesterday's new moon but is even more energized today. This has been a chance to bring the Sun's more black and white view of money matters together with the moon's financial instincts and imagination while creating an opportunity for new beginnings and forward momentum. In a year where the main focus has been on the income side of the financial fence, this is giving money matters the right boost at the right time. While it has been 2 days since the moon left your relationship sector, The impact from starting the week here is the gift that keeps on giving. For Mercury, now in his final days in your relationship sector, this is making it easier for the planet of communication to give your relationships a voice, while Venus, the planet of love, is using this to better understand what you want from your relationships. Our eyes in the sky. There's a lot going on in the universe today, starting with Neptune in watery Pisces heading retrograde. Over the next few months, you'll be forced to wake up from your daydreams and face the reality of what life is throwing at you, which can be somewhat of a rude awakening for some people. Luckily, your intuition will still be working for you, helping you to make tough decisions as your delusions all but disappear. A new moon in water sign Cancer adds to your emotional moodiness, putting the people you care most about in your spotlight. Not being able to help them is your biggest nightmare, so get ready for a busy day of trying to do favors for and coming to the defense of friends and family who need you to run interference or play referee. The Sun squares Jupiter in Aries late in the day, reminding you to keep your expectations low, and a Sun-Moon conjunction in sensitive Cancer emphasizes the relationships with the people in our lives who give off major feminine energy. If one of them lets you down now, it will be very difficult to deal with. Most interpersonal problems can be dealt with in a positive way, but it's uber important to keep your emotions in check. After midnight, Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces. When the planet of fantasy, illusion, and magic is direct, the proverbial wool is pulled more firmly over our eyes. We fall prey to the folly of optimism, becoming susceptible to subliminal messaging in media, or making improper assumptions within our relationships. While our idealism can make for poetic or romantic moments, we are less firmly rooted in reality. However, when Neptune stations retrograde, the veil of illusion is lifted, causing us to see our circumstances with improved clarity. We might be confused at what is revealed at this time, experiencing disappointment akin to waking up from a dream where we have won the lotto or wound up with our unavailable love interest. We see ways in which we have allowed ourselves to be deceived, or ways we have deceived ourselves. Yet, we also can use new revelations as a jumping-off point to participate in the world in healthier ways. Neptune will move backward until December 3rd, so seek to reframe burst bubbles as learning opportunities during this time. We are not ready to give up on our past, content to punish ourselves. Under this influence, we are brave enough to imagine that our lives might look different if we do the work. Following this aspect, the moon begins its void of course, suggesting that we focus on what must be released and purged, rather than immediately trying to fill empty space with something new. Replacement therapy can be valid, but this is an occasion where stillness and self-awareness are all the replacements we need. In the morning, the moon enters Cancer, ending its void of course which began early last night. We are just a few hours shy of the Cancer new moon, and the next 2 days will find us more entrenched in Cancerian concerns of home, family, and security. Our emotions may fluctuate more than usual now, however, this influence intends to show us that our feelings are a strength rather than a weakness. During this lunation, we come to a better understanding of where, and with whom, we can safely express our vulnerability.